Assalamualaikum to Dr. Nur Akmal. My name is Sharfana Afrana binti Said Yusof and my metric number is DE190146. In this video, I will demonstrate on how to turn on the MSB system. But first of all, I will explain all the safety precautions that we need to take care, especially our PPE. First, we need to wear a safety helmet, CW fireproof shield, where it will give a protection for head and face from flame. Then we need to wear a fireproof suit where it will protect us from flames and also thermal injury. Afterward, we need to wear electrical insulation glove, this one, for voltage protection as well as heat. Electrical hazard boot in order to protect us from electric shock, as well as a rubber mat here. We also need to apply a permit 1 week early in order to notify the consumer and let the consumer do the preparation. After that, before we can start with the operation, we need to check the safety measure in the LVSB room, such as if there is any fire extinguisher or not. Then we need to check the first aid chart and the single line diagram of the system. Next, we need to make sure there is a rubber mat in front of the LVSB panel. And lastly, check the logbook to check the history of the LVSB. And for sure, we need to bring our tools and equipment. Now, I will start with the demonstrate. First, need to make sure that the outgoing load is in off condition before we give our LVSB supply. After make sure all are in off condition, we can turn on the incoming supply. So first, I will turn on the supply for MSB1 here. Then we rack in our MCB into the bus bar. So in order to connect it, we need to get the charging handle where it is usually stored or placed in the inside the MCB compartment here. So we need to open this and this to open the door in order to get the tools. Then we need to make sure that the MCCB is in off condition. There, the green color one, it show it off. And let's pretend this as the charging handle. So we need to insert the charging handle inside here and turn into clockwise position until the status here change to connect position, like here. It changed to connect position here. So when ACB is connected, we can put back the charging tool inside the compartment. Next, we need to turn on the ACB in order to give our bus bar supply. But before turn on ACB, we need to make sure the coil charge first. So as we can see here, it's stated as discharge. So if it is in discharge position, we need to charge it manually by pulling the charging handle up and down. This charging handle up and down like that until it change to charge. So if it is charged, it will state like this, it will turn to yellow. Okay, so now we can turn on the ACP, but make sure that we are standing on the rubber mat, and we turn on the ACP by push the on button here until it display on here. You can see it turn from green off into red on. Then we can see our bus bar supply here already energized, this bus bar. Next, we turn on the MCCB, but before that we need to notify the consumer to make sure that they are ready to receive the supply and to make sure no accident happen. So first, we need to turn on the power factor capacitor bank here. Turn on this one, pull, turn on. So the power factor capacitor bank is to make sure our power factor corrector can monitor the system power factor. After that, we can turn on the MCCB. So we turn on our MCCB. Turn on here, here, sorry, here, and then after that, we can check the current status of our system. We can check the current system here at the display here. So if there is a current usage, we can see the increment of the current here. Now we are done turning on the MSB1. Now we will proceed to now we will repeat the same step or process for MSB2. First, I'll turn on the MSB2. Then we rack in our ACB into the bus bar. So this is as the charging handle. Insert the charging handle inside here and rotate it in clockwise direction until it stated here the ACB is in charge position or in connect. So rotate clockwise until it connect. Then we need to turn on the ACP in order to give our bus bar supply. But before that, we need to make sure our cord is in charge position. So here it is white, so it is discharged. So to charge it, pulling the handle here up and down until it changes to charge in yellow. So I'll pull this up and down until it charges here. So after that, we need to turn on the ACB. So I will push here until it on, and it will display on here. Then we can see that our bus bar already energized. Then we can turn on our MCCB. So first we will turn on the power factor capacitor bank. After that, we can turn on our MCCB. So I will turn on one by one here. Okay. So this is how it's look when they were on. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dharmugan. Today I'm going to do exercise 8 for low voltage switchboard system and operation. So today I'm going to explain the busbar coupling of MSB1 and MSB2, which is a main switchboard 1 and main switchboard 2. So this is the main switchboard 1, MSB1, and this is a MSB2. So the purpose of the coupling of MSB1 and MSB2 is for the purpose of maintenance and also to supply power to the load in order to run the load. So first of all, we need to turn off the air circuit breaker ASB at MSB1 in order to do maintenance work on ASB. So ASB is this one, air circuit breaker. So but before that, we need to turn off all the loads, which is at the MSB1. So this is the loads. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, altogether 5 loads. So for that, we need to ask permission from the consumer side to turn off the power supply to the load. So as they give the permission, then we need to turn off the overcurrent and earth fault relay as well. So this is the overcurrent and earth fault relay. So we turn off this as well. So for the verification, we can check the current status at the ammeter at MSB1 as it shows 0 ampere because there is no supply to the loads. Then we need to turn off the ASB by push the off button at here inside, and we can see the outgoing indicator light turned off as well. So when we push the button here at the ASB, the indicator outgoing light will turn off. Then we need to turn off the power supply to the MSB1. So we need to turn off the power supply to MSB1. So it will place that right here. So we can see here. So now we need to use the charging handle to remove the ASB until the isolate third position in anti-clockwise. So that means there is a charging handle inside the ASB. So we use that to remove the ASB until the isolate third position in anti-clockwise mode. So right here. And then we need to put a sign on the ASB compartment to inform everyone in the MSB room that ASB is under maintenance work. So we need to place a sign like this while we're doing the maintenance work for ASB. And then next, we need to transfer the power supply from MSB2. So this is the MSB2. So we need to transfer the power supply from MSB2 to the loads of the MSB1 in order to run the load. So we're going to transfer the power supply from the MSB2 to the load of MSB1 here. And then we need to use the key from the ASB. So there is a key at the ASB, and we use the key in order to get the C2 key. So there is another 2 keys at the isolator compartment. So we use the ASB key to get the 2 keys from the isolator, and then we use the 2 keys each in both isolator at MSB1 and MSB2. So we use one key right MSB1 isolator here, and then another key to the isolator at MSB2 right here. Then we can turn on the isolator at MSB2. This is the isolator as MSB2. We turn on, and then we turn on the isolator at MSB1 as well. Then the outgoing indicator light at MSB1 right here will turn on, and it shows it's ready to supply the load to the consumer. Then lastly, in order to give the consumer power supply, we need to inform and make sure they're ready to receive the power supply. We turn on the related load and as well as the our current and earth fault relay at the MSB1 right here. So we can turn on any of the 5 loads right here according to the consumer's requirement. Basically, the load from the MSB1 and MSB2 is supplied by the incoming power from the MSB2. That is the coupling of MSB1 and MSB2. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat sejahtera. My name is Siti Nur Hashimah and my matric number is AE190046. So today in this activity I will explain the process of restoring normal supply. Before we begin the process of restoring normal supply, we need to make sure that our attire is suitable. We need to wear safety helmet, safety boots, safety glasses, gloves, and insulated rubber mats. Okay. Before we begin, we need to inform the consumer before turn off the supply. After ready, we can turn off all the power supply, and then we can turn off the power factor capacitor bank. We can check the current status here. It will display here and it should be 0 ampere. Okay, next we can turn on the isolator here, C1 on the MSB1, and we can check the bus bar supply here is already de-energized. Next, we can turn on the isolator C2 on the MSB2 here, and then we can remove the isolator key from the MSB2 and MSB1, and we can put the key back here. Here should be the place to put the key, and then we can remove the ACB key to put back the ACB into the compartment after finish the maintenance. Okay, to put back the ACB, we need to insert the ACB key into the slot and unlock it by turning it clockwise. Okay, so right now the ACB is in isolated position. Okay, we need to give the power supply to the MSB1 from the isolator, so we need to turn on the isolator, and then incoming MSB1 is already has the power supply. By checking the voltage, it will display here, and then we need to take out the charging handler from the compartment inside the ACB and insert it into a slot here below the ACB and turn the handle clockwise side until the ACB is in connect position. Okay, then we can put it back into the ACB compartment. Okay, so right now the ACB is in discharge position. So to turn on the ACB, we need to make sure the ACB is in charge position. So to change the status, we need to manually pull up and down the charging handler here. We need to pull up and down until the status here is changed from discharge to charge. Okay. After the status is changed, we can turn on the ACB by pushing the on button here, and then the ACB is already turned on. Okay, when the bus bar is energized, it will light up at the top of the ACB, which is consist of red, yellow and blue light indicator here. And also we can see the voltage from the display. Okay, so right now the MSB1 can fit the load at the MSB1. Okay, then we can turn on the power factor capacitor bank and all the load, and we can check the current status on the display to see the increment and the usage. Then we need to wait for a minute to make sure the power system is in stable condition. Okay, then we can remove the maintenance signage after completing the maintenance. And the most important thing, we need to record the maintenance update to the logbook for the services update, and then we need to close the permit that we apply for the maintenance of LVSB. So that's it, the process of restoring back normal supply. That's all from me. Thank you.